Alright guys, welcome back to Time Valley of Tennis, and today we're going to give you a hot topic, one-handed backhand power. And I know so many people have a stereotype that two-handed backhand has more power, and because one-handed you don't get enough power out of your right arm or whatnot. But I'll prove to you today that you can get as much power on the one-handed backhand as you would on two-handed backhand. As a matter of fact, there was a study on professional players that showed that the difference in RPM and the speed of the ball is almost the same. So what does give you a chance to generate a lot of power on your one-handed backhand? And if you think about your arm, you're already wrong. That's not where you get power from. Where you get power from is your legs and leads and your core. That's where you're going to generate a lot of power. At the same time, you have to learn about torque of your hips. Considering that on two-handed backhand, sometimes you're going to have a rotation of your here you will have a torque generated from your hips that is going to give you a tremendous amount of power completely effortlessly, so you can hit your one-handed backhand flawlessly and nice, almost like Federer or Wawrinka or all those guys do. Alright, so let's talk about differences and similarities on the one-handed backhand. So the preparation could be slightly different. If you watch Roger Federer, he keeps his racket a little bit closer to the body, he turns sideways, but his shoulder turn is very big, so he keeps his backswing very compact. That makes it easy to time when you hit the ball. Now Wawrinka, or let's say Dominic Thiem, they keep their arms straight and extend their arm when they turn. They don't have as big of a shoulder turn, but they put their whole body into the ball and they step inside to generate that power. So either way, there are similarities in terms of that you have to turn early. Obviously, prepare as early as you can. You have to use your leg, you have to use torque of your hips and that shoulder turn. But in order to open up too much, you want to make sure that as you swing, your left hand is coming back. Also, there's one little thing that people don't see or they don't really pay attention to, but when you swing, right at that swing, when you're dropping the racket down at the hip level, when you generate that torque and your hips are throwing the racket, you're gonna generate sort of like a wrist like that, where the racket is gonna throw back a little bit, and that is gonna generate even more racket head speed. A lot of people make it stiff and they just drop and follow through here, so they make it very the stroke, they muscle through it, which reduces a lot of racket head speed. In order to have that whip here at the hip level, you really have to just relax and let your wrist loose, so you generate a lot of racket at speed as you generate the power. Now, we're going to give you a few drills. Now, you're going to focus as we're going through it. I'll explain all the details of how to generate power. You'll have to practice, make sure you compare it to what you see on the screen as well, and let's see how we can progress. Alright guys, so first let's start with preparation. So you want to align yourself with the ball like that. So we're going to start slow, nice and easy, so you can actually see what's happening. So make sure to watch, and you're going to start facing the court. You're going to split step, turn sideways, keep your racket back, make sure it's not flicking back. There's a big mistake, especially kids, they switch from two-handed to one-handed backhand. They flick their wrist back, they kind of let their left hand go a little bit, and their racket opens up. So what happens, the racket is almost open up until their hip level, and then they try to flick it. So that puts a lot of pressure on your arm, it decreases a lot of racket head speed. So we want to make sure we keep our left hand on the racket, we keep it away from our body. Now we start swinging down, we do it slow motion, then you keep your left hand back, follow through, and we rotate our arm at the end to generate that spin as well. Now we're going to do it a few times. We're going to do those shadow swings a few times. Now we're going to try to do it faster this time, right? We start feeling more comfortable, and that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to engage my hips a little bit. See, that's what I'm going to do again. Nice. Now we're going to start following through as well. See, we're engaging our body, split step turn, engaging our body a little bit, making that split step turn, and again following through. So do it a few times, feel comfortable. You can even record it yourself as I'm doing, especially from the back. You see this angle, it's very good for you. So you feel the wrist back or your racket drops or whatnot, how you align with the ball. Is your shoulder turn good enough or not? And now we'll do some drills that will help you to actually get some power on your... Alright guys, so in the next part we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stay sideways, and now we're going to engage our legs. We're going to go up as we swing. We're gonna follow through as the ball leaves the racket. We're gonna make that step through the ball. We're gonna transfer our body weight. So we had our legs, our torque of our hips, and then transferring of our body. This is three main components, three main elements to get the power on our backhand. Here we go. Alright guys, in this one we're going to specifically work on body transfer. So a lot of times we see students coming in, they have troubles with body transfer and they try to transfer their body but they don't do it correctly. So this drill is actually, it forces you to transfer your body weight because the ball technically is coming with negative speed. So the ball is moving away from you. So in that case, if you don't go after the ball, you don't transfer your body into it, what's going to happen? You won't be able to even hit the ball. So you're kindly forced to do it. So let's see, Aritz is going to feed the ball from behind me. So I have to turn sideways and then go after the ball, and I will be forced to transfer my body weight into it and see how much power can I get from the ball that is coming with negative speed. So as you can see, the ball probably had about 10-15 miles an hour negative speed, and I could generate so much power because I was forced to do that. That drill is actually essential for your one-handed backhand power because as you repeat it a lot of times, you create a good habit that you can transfer into your game. Now we're going to do a different drill where he's going to come to the other side, and now the ball is going to come with some pace. So what we'll have to focus on is early preparation, but doing exactly the same thing we just accomplished here. Alright guys, so in this last drill, what we're going to do is our partner is going to stay at the net and he's going to block the balls back to us. So we're going to hit about 80-85% cross courts at our partner. He's going to block back to our backhand. And on third or fourth ball, we're going to rip the ball down the line, transferring our body weight. Whatever we have worked on through these drills, we're going to try to apply on those shorter shots that we're going to get. So obviously, if the ball is coming very deep to the baseline, you don't want to rip that ball, right? So the ball has to be a little bit shorter where we can step in and really rip it down the line. Don't be afraid to miss because we're just practicing. We're trying to get better at it. A lot of people never go for one-handed backhand power. They're being too defensive, so if you want to break through the habit, you actually have to go for shots and fail a little bit. So let's see how we succeed here. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and we have so much stuff coming up in a few months. There's free courses and other important information for you. Everything's going to be free, so just look in the comments below and talk to you guys.